Hello everyone, today we will talk about the culture industry written by Adorno and Horkheimer. Culture industry, the industrial political creation of cultural products in order to subordinate individuals to the will of the capitalist, profit-driven system. The culture industry mass produces and distributes culture goods to cultivate false psychological needs that can only be met with the products of capitalism. Also, it destroys the individual and absorbs it into mass society. So, Theodor Adorno's theory of mass media and culture is frequently dismissed for its culture pessimism, but such dismissals have not prevented him from becoming one of the most renowned and discussed thinkers of our times. Also, let me rename again that the term culture industry was coined by the critical theorists Theodor Adorno and Max Horkheimer, and was presented as a critical vocabulary in the chapter The Culture Industry, Enlightenment as a Mass Deception of the book Dialectic of Enlightenment. Members of Frankfurt School were much influenced by the dialectical materialism and the historical materialism of Karl Marx, as well as the revisitation of the dialectical idealism of Hegel. Both events are studied not in isolation but as part of the process of change. As a group later joined by Jürgen Habermas, they were responsible for the formulation of critical theory. In works such as Dialectical of Enlightenment, the negative dialectics, Adorno and Horkheimer theorized that the phenomenon of mass culture has a political implication, namely that all the many forms of popular culture are parts of a single culture industry whose purpose is to ensure to the continued obedience of the masses' market interests. The main defining feature of the culture industry for Adorno is standardization. It's important to understand that Adorno's theory of standardization refers not only the products of the culture industry but to its consumers too. Standardization is about political economy only in so far as it accounts for both almighty production and the consumer demand for such production. So, unfortunately, the masses have become conditioned by the culture industry in such a way that, like infants, they are deaf and dumb to rational thinking. If nobody can any longer speak, then certainly nobody can any longer listen. Popular music not only destroys the trained musical ear, it also commons its own listening habits. Adorno's theory of standardization is applied to both the production and the consumption of popular music, which is compared entirely unfavorably to serious music. Serious music achieves excellence when its whole is greater than the sum of its part. For instance, Beethoven's greatness shows itself in the complete subordination of the accidentally private melodic elements to the form as a whole. In sum, Adorno has provided a theory of the nature of the cultural product and its valuation at an appropriate level of discourse. The standardization and the interchangeability of cultural products under late capitalism leads to the interchangeability of persons in audience. Stylization has its counterpart, the pseudo-individualization of the cultural products as well as the members of the audience. Both stylization and the pseudo-individualization contribute to the possibilities of mass marketing.